Okay, I'm back. Today I'd like to showcase the machine of 2Million on the Hackthebox. And I have already spawned this machine, and I'd like to use the Box, which is online pilot OS provided by the Hackthebox to do this penetration. So now we can switch over to the HTTP Hackthebox viewer. As you can see, I have already done the map scanning with the option like scene scan, versus scan, default script scan, and also the comprehensive scan. Of course, because I spawned the machine differently, so the IP address would be different. Anyway, from the map scanning results, as you can see, the two open ports. The first one is 22. Which is running SSH service, and also the actual version information. As we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. And the second one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the actual version information, which is in jigs. So what can we do? We need to do the immersion, the web application immersion. First, let's fire up our browser. Let's make it bigger so it will be easy to know what's going on. And I think I already copied the IP address of the target. Let's put into the address bar of the browser. But it says we cannot connect to the server at this host name. So I think we need to add this host name into the host file. Let's do it. Let's copy, and go back to our terminal. Sudo vim hosts. And the IP address is, I cannot remember the IP address. Maybe we can use the copy capability, and we can here. Let's paste it in here, and okay, let's delete this line, and I think we can write and quit. Now let's refresh the page. Yeah, now it's loaded without any issue. And of course, we need to walk through different functions. For example, let's click join, and we can join the HTTP to become a member. But we need to supply or offer the invite code. So maybe we need to check the source code to see what's running or what's involved at the background. Let's scroll down a bit. As you can see, I think this is the script, and we'll make AJAX request, and the tab is post. And this one is to verify, and if the result is a success, and then we'll be redirected to the register. So, but of course, right now we didn't get the code, and what I can do here, there is another JavaScript. Let's open in another tab. But this one, I think, is not easy to read. We can make a copy, and we can use the beautifier website to help us to make it more understandable. As you can see, I think this script involves or includes two functions. The first one is verify invite code. Of course, we didn't get that. But this one, we can make invite code and to this API. So we can make a copy, right? And the data type is JSON. And the type is a post. We can make a copy, go back to the view. So we can make a copy, and then we can use the Q utility, but we need to specify the request method, and URL, and we can paste in here. This is the API endpoint. We just follow the instruction. Okay, let's hit enter to see what result. So I think, of course, we can use the GQ utility. I think you know that the GQ is a very slight JSON data processor. So this will make the result, the JSON data, to be more understandable. But here, I think this one is encoded by the ROT 13. So we can make a copy. And I already opened up this website to decode this message. And the result is that in order to generate the invite code, make a post request to this endpoint. So we can make a copy, go back to our HTTP viewer, and then this time we can use the Q utility. And the post URL HTTP, and we can paste the API endpoint, and then we can, of course, similarly we can use the JQ utility or command. Yeah, success one encoded. So I think the code is encoded in base 64. We can use this command to decode. Right, and so far we have already got the invite code, right? And now we can go back to our terminal. The invite code here, we can put our generated invite code, and let's sign up. Here will be redirect automatically to the registration panel. We can use any username like a JSON, and the email, we can use any email, and the password 123, any random password. Let's register. Don't save. So now it's done. we have already registered to this target, and the email, we can supply the email in company with the password 123. Let's log in. Don't save. Yeah, as you can see, we successfully log in as the user Jason. I think now we need to do some, some directory enumeration, and we can use the GoBuster. Directory. Directory. And the option, extension option. Let's hit enter to see what we can get, but we need to exclude the lens option. Let's hit again. Your home login register. We have already know that earlier. Also, I think from the last test, the API, the API, maybe we need to find other endpoints for this API. So how to do it? Maybe we do not need to enumerate directories again, and we can use the Q TwoMillion. And the API, right? The Q, but nothing returned. Right? So maybe we need to put the cookie. Wait a moment. We can put the V verbals to get more information or more detailed information. Yeah, it seems that we are not authorized to access this API. So maybe we need to put the session or the cookie. We have already logged in as the JSON. So what we can do, we can put the cookie. And the cookie, we can use the inspect to and go to the storage. And here, this is the name of the cookie. Equal. And we need to copy the value. And paste in here. Yeah, to see what's happened. Yeah, the version 1 of the API. So we need to put the v1 as our endpoint, right? Let's change it. Or append the version v1. Let's run it. So maybe we need to use, similarly, we can use the JQ command to make it. Yeah, I think from here, yeah, we got all endpoints for this v1 API. Of course, we are just interested in the administrator. The first endpoint is check if the user is admin. So we can run it. And the method is get admin. Okay, let's hit enter. Yeah, message is false. So how can we do? We also can check the second one, but this time we need to use the option X, and the request method is post, and we can modify the endpoint to VPN generate. Let's hit enter, but nothing. If we check the use the V option, yeah, unauthorized again. So we can check the next one. You know, the penetration is just some sort of the try and the test method. And here we can use, I think it should be, yeah, this one, put. But this time the method is put. And we can make a copy of the endpoint or the address URL. Paste in here, but we need to change or modify the request method to put. Let's hit enter. Yeah, the status is danger, invalid content type. So I think, of course, from the result we have already know that the response data is JSON. So maybe we also need to change the content type of the request header. Let's do it. I think this time we do not need the verbose option. And again here we need to set the header content and the content is JSON, right? Let's hit enter. But it says also the status is the same, the danger, and the message missing parameter. So we need to specify the data. And the data should be email. The email is the one we created when we created this user. I think I configure properly. Let's hit enter. Yeah, the missing parameter is admin. So again, we need to put is admin true. All right, let's hit enter. But variable is admin needs to be either 0 or 1. So we can change it to, of course, 1 means true. And let's hit enter. Email not found. Oh, sorry. I forgot to, the email is wrong. I forgot to put the .com. And now let's hit again. yeah, the mean. So I think now we have already become the mean. What can we? Maybe we can try to confirm our permission. We can use, yeah, this one. This is the end point for the authentication. Let's hit enter. Yeah, this time message is true. It means that we are the administrator. So what we can do? Maybe this time we can use the, and now we can go back. Yeah, go back here. Now we try to generate our VPN. Right? The update. And must be so I think we do not need this one, not this one. We should use the post, right? Maybe not this one. We can, I try to, yeah, this one, yeah, this one, and but we need to specify the header. Maybe I just make a copy, right? Copy and paste in here. I think it's correct, right? Let's try to run, but it says it's missing parameter username, which is fine. We can add the data. Username JSON. Right? Let's hit enter. But nothing returned. Very weird. So I run it the same command again, but this time we got the response. As you can see, we got the certification information and very rich details about the VPN. So maybe, you know, at the background, there's some PHP function like a system is running. And from this point, we can make assumption that maybe we can inject our commands. For example, we can run the ID. But nothing there. Yeah, as you can see, we can run our command. So I think naturally what we are able to do now is to get the reverse shell. And I have already opened up the Pentest monkey. So we can use this command to, of course, we need to encode this command. Let's go back to our HTTP viewer, and what we can do, we can use this, and we need to make some modification to our online Pilot OS IP address and the port number. We can change to whatever you wish, but my favorite one is this one. We can make a copy and we can echo to encode. Echo. Paste in here. Oh, not this one. Maybe I need to. We can make a copy. Let's do it again. Not this one. Echo. And use the base 64 to encode this command, and then we can make a copy, right? Maybe we can use another tab, and this time here we can set up the listener. And here we can run. We can replace the command ID to echo. Paste in here. We need to decode and then tunnel to the bash. Okay, let's hit enter and go back to the second. As you can see, we have already got the reverse shell. Next, we need to do some natural movement. And here we can get, as you see, under our root directory of the www, there is environment configuration file. Here is password. So maybe this password is used by the local user, right? Admin. So we can log in to the target via SSH. The IP address. What's the IP address? Let's hit enter. Accept. And can paste the password here. Not correct. Oh, sorry. I mistyped the username. Should be admin. And paste the password of this user. Yeah, as you can see, we successfully log in as user admin. What can we? Yeah, we got the user flag here. So what we can do is next is to elevate our privilege. And how to do it? And we can, for example, we can check the sudo. And paste the password here. But this user may not run sudo. So what can we do? I think we need to find the other way. We can go we need to do some immersion. Here, var backup, but nothing there. Go to mail directory. Yeah, admin. I think here there's message we can cut the content of this file. Yeah, hi admin. I know you're working as fast as you can to do the DB migration. While we are partially done, can you also upgrade the OS on our web host? There have been a few serious Linux kernel CVEs already this year. That one in overlay FS fuse looks listy. We can't get popped by that. So we can cut the kernel and release information. And here we can use the search engine to make research. And I've already got this exploit. Yeah, this one can help us to elevate our privilege. And we can clone this exploit code and follow the steps to elevate our privilege. And I have already done that earlier. Yeah, but we can make a tar, and then we can upload tar CZVF. We can name it to exploit tar CVE. Yeah, no problem. And then we can upload to the target and go back to our terminal. We can navigate to the temp directory and the IP address of the Kali Linux, which is which one? We can make a copy. As you know, I cannot remember. My memory nowadays is so awful. And the port number, exploit. Yeah, download. And then we can decompress. Okay. And we can go into the directory of exploit we got from the GitHub, and we can follow the instruction here. The first one is make all, and we can go back to our terminal, make all. Yeah, which is done. And then we run this one. We need to open up two terminals. Paste in here. Oh, not this one. I need to copy and copy to the clipboard, right? And then run it. Then we need to open up another tab, or another terminal rather, SSH admin, and the IP address of the target. We can, yeah, we make a copy, right? Very difficult to remember. Paste in here. And also we can copy the password. Of course, the better practice is to note down onto the text file. Yeah, we have ready. And then we need to run the second one, right? And go back. Of course, we need to navigate to temp directory. And then we can go into our exploit directory, XP. Let's run. Yeah, as you can see from the banner, we have already become the root user. And we can navigate to the root directory. And we can cat the root flag. Okay, I'm sorry, this video has been going along for a bit long time, about 35 minutes. Anyway, we have already completed the penetration. We got the root shell and got user flag and root flag. Anyway, so that's all I'd like to go through for this machine, which is the TwoMillion. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.